Welcome to Sales Strategy Bootcamp with Romeo Mabasa, and in this episode we look at your customer response service level agreement. One of the most missed opportunity by salespeople is that you don't realize that your customer is also concerned about what problems are they creating for themselves by giving you the deal. So sell the service level agreement as a value add so that your customer is confident that after they buy from you, you will be able to support them. So we will look at some of the things that you can offer them next. The first one I wanted us to look at is the email response time. Depending on the deal size, you need to make sure and commit to the customer that you will respond to their email at a certain timelines, and it's important as part of the SLA to stick to that timeline. This way, the customer knows that you will be supporting them as they are moving towards implementing your solution. And how about technical support? If you've sold them a piece of software or you've built them that software, it's very important that as they implement your solution, they need to know that your technical support timeline will be to their favor so that they don't experience any form of downtime. How about telephonic support? You need to speak to your call center manager, for example, to make sure that the customer, every time they call, the wait time is not too long, where, for example, they are calling because it's an emergency and you're going to ask them to wait a couple of minutes or a couple of hours. That would be very problematic. Give them the sense that a call will be answered as soon as possible. A similar concept goes for your remote help desk. You need to have a dedicated support team that will be readily available as the customer connects with your AI, Helpdesk, whatever you are using. They need to be able to get help as soon as possible. It doesn't matter how trivial or hectic the request is, it has to be as soon as possible. As in every business, there will be a time where there is an emergency. Your customer needs to know how you will be handling their incidences. As they happen, they need to know that your response time will be immediately so that they can manage their downtime or whatever state of emergency they are experiencing. If it's a piece of software that you've developed and there is a bug that they picked up or there is a functionality that is not working as it should, your customer needs to know that their change requests will be handled with immediate effect. Whatever SLA that you put in place, you need to make sure that you deliver at that specified time so they can manage their own customer on their side. Chances are, as the business grows, you will hire more junior staff, and at some point they are bound to drop the ball and provide your customer with poor service. The customer needs to know how you will handle any form of poor service from junior staff members so that you can manage that process as well, because poor service will mess up your customer score. Your customer will also want to know how often you will physically visit them, go to their offices, so that they can map that process and make sure that they give you attention. But also it's good to kind of like send some form of agenda to make sure that it's not a waste of everybody's time. So make sure that customers know that you will prioritize them in that way. The same goes for virtual meetings or teleconferences or webinars. Any form of virtual meetings that you plan to have, make sure that the customers are ready and they need to know what to bring. So it's important that you let them know on time so that perhaps that becomes a recurring meeting in the calendar. But the bottom line is that they need to know that they can count on you to be available. Your customer also wants to know that you are not there for just their money. And I mean, obviously, you can imagine if they find out that you are doing everything in your power to milk them of every cent they have, your relationship will unfortunately sour. So it's important to give them some skills development plan where you will train their staff to slowly start to take ownership of the implementation. Now that the deal has been won, what else, what value will you create for your customer? And it's very important to ethically go beyond the call of duty and be part of the customer team. Help them to grow, help them to figure themselves out, help them to see themselves in the future. And that way you become a trusted advisor and you will make more money. And of course, Twitter, Instagram, Maromza, that's my handle. And encourage other small businesses and entrepreneurs, and more importantly, those organizations, government organizations that are looking to train small, medium enterprises, that we update the content on a weekly basis, and hopefully they can learn something from this.